Welcome to the Canada Guns Talk Show, episode 48. SigNADE out.
That was good timing.
Host, Crover. Say hello, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Yellow.
Okay, let's see if it went off. Ugh. I don't know. I don't think it landed on it. Nope, didn't go off.
Are you going to just keep dropping it over and over again right now?
Throughout the episode, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's the theme. It's the theme, folks. Yes. Welcome to the show. Today we have a very unexpectedly discharging episode for you today. We have news. If you are the owner of one of these sexy 6 P320s, congratulations, your gun may go off if you drop it at a very particular angle from a certain height onto a hard surface, or as we have seen now in another series of videos by The Truth About Guns, you don't even need to drop it. The latest video has the fella grabbing a nylon hammer, smacking the back of the slide, and that sets it off.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I got a nylon hammer. How big was his hammer?
Fuck. About 2-3 inches long, maybe.
One of these guys here?
Diameter. Yeah, about that.
All right, I'm gonna whack my gun.
Yeah, it's a whacking gun episode. So it may not be the trigger, if that's the case, because that's not making contact with the trigger. That's just the back of the gun getting hit. As Adriel is demonstrating now, if you smack the shit out of your gun, something might happen. Apparently, that's what happens with 6. Did it go off?
No. I'm trying to get some good velocity out of it, because I think it must be like it's pushing the thing forward, not just the impact on it, right?
Yeah. So who knows?
I'm whacking it pretty hard. Nothing. The FNS is drop safe. I think it's got a pretty heavy trigger as is. I don't think it's not going to get
set off. Does it have your totally not Glock style bladed trigger?
Yeah, it's got the little bendy guy in there, so it won't go if you push there. You got to push down a little bit.
Chad, you got Glock nades with you, don't you?
Well, I've got a Glock, yeah, right here, and I've got a hammer. I don't know how I feel about hitting that. I'll have to be careful not to hit the sights.
Hit the steel. Hit the steel.
No, I don't know.
Oh shit! Am I gonna have to break out my hammer?
Glock's good, man.
God damn it! So, folks, due to 6 hours, I don't know, design features. Yes, now we are able to use means such as this, courtesy of Weekend Gun It. This is the world we live in, folks.
Oh, you got to scroll down on there.
I will. I'm just want to lock it on me. There you go. Oops. Bang. 6 shoots himself in the head, and that is of great pleasure for Glock, and then Glock explodes. Yes, folks, that's what we're dealing with nowadays. Well, that's what I'm dealing with nowadays. Anybody else out there willing to drop their gun live on air? You're welcome to send us a message. Oh, here we go. Adriel, any results?
My wife's gonna be like, "What the hell?" No, it's fine.
All right. Unintentional discharges aside, what have you guys been up to in the last weeks? Adriel, go.
Sure, there we go. I shot a 3-gun match at Lakeland 3-gun. Won that one. There's about 12 guys there. Good group. There's a small group. I don't think I've shot 3-gun with that many people before. The advantage was we just kind of camped out on one bay and we just kept remaking it. So we'd set up for a stage, we'd shoot the stage, we'd tear it down, set up another stage, shoot the stage. So yeah, it was kind of cool, kind of a neat way of running a match. Let's see here. I wanted to show this iTarget. There's actually someone on CanadaGuns who was talking about it. So
I saw the post.
I'll grab some parts here. I think it was like an Indiegogo or something like that. So this is like cheap and cheerful way of getting dry fire practice at home. There's your target setup right there, and this is going to use your phone as a kind of a remote camera. So your phone will sit there, and let's pull up the app. And the app is right there. We're going to go bullseye to start with. It says, hey, make sure your gun doesn't have any ammo in it. That's a good idea. And then what we're going to do is just tell it where that circle is by doing this kind of overlay thing. Something like that. And then you hit play. And then you got this little laser bullet thing that kind of fits in your gun. And when you press the back of that thing, oh, I need to freaking aim. There we go. Boom, boom. It tracks those as hits on there. So it's kind of a boy. That's really not picking that up, but
it's all right. It's all right.
Can I put it right there? Can you guys see that? Yeah. So you just dump that. This thing doesn't have a rim on it, so it won't extract when you run the slide. And you can basically practice your shooting at home. Now, the other thing that this has got is that's like the basic. It's just using light, right? So if you hit it with some light off the background or something like that, I might think it's a shot. Just gonna back up here. It's also got a quick draw version, and that one is for like drawing out of. Let's change the target here. It's also got a man-size target, but I don't got one of those. Just get a circle. Now the draw one is for drawing out of a holster. So the idea with that one is, here, I'll put it back here. You've got your pistol ready to draw. And it'll time you and score you at the same time. So I'll just
You're so operator, by the way.
See? So it goes like that, and you shoot it, and then it'll give you your time and your accuracy. So kind of a cool thing to do, because I know a lot of guys out there will practice draw at home, and they might even practice the draw and dry fire, but you don't really know how accurate it is, right? You pull it out and you're like, you slap the trigger or something like that, and you're like, oh yeah, that was accurate. But this actually gives you something that you can practice with at home, and really cool setup. Let's see here. I've got a couple rifles to show you guys. Although I think
this should be fun.
Pretty much everyone's seen one of these before. This is the
maybe you better clarify what those are.
Looks like a CZ858, CZ858, CZ858. Get in there. Need to wear these in. They're too factory fresh on the magwell there, but this is a WR762. It's one of the West Rifle made in Canada receivers, and I believe the barrels were made in Canada as well. So these are different than your CZ858 in that they're not a converted auto receiver. So if at any point in the future, like some other government wants to ban the 858s, these wouldn't actually be part of that. I heard some people saying they don't like the engraving. Man, I cannot. Okay, can you see the engraving there?
No.
It's there, but just due to the finish on there, it's not really obnoxious. I don't know. Some people say like, "Oh, I hate that damn engraving." But
does it say melon labia, or is it just your model?
No, it just says like it's large. It's about from here to here, and it says manufactured by Kodiak Defense, 762 by 39. It just says that on the side here. I might even go ahead, janitor.
I was just saying the reason saying that is the original pictures they had on their website. It was big, but it wasn't black inside, and it looked really, really rough. Like, it was just a terrible photo they used for the pre-sale. So that's probably what people were basing that comment off of.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. It doesn't look like shit on that one.
No, doesn't look like shit on that one. Here's the other one. Maybe this one will get picked up. Come on. No, you can barely even
I can't see
it
shit.
Yeah, the other stuff you could see from a mile away. Like, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, this is the nicer Woodstock version with a rubber butt pad.
That's huge.
The butt pad?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty big. But I don't know, feels fine. It's feels fine on the irons. Yeah, I don't know if there's a different difference in the cheek weld between the two of them. Nah, not really. They both kind of come up on the shoulder, about the same.
A small aside, somebody on the chat room, Andrew, is going to volunteer smacking the shit out of the back of his Beretta for us. So we'll have another gun to report back about whether or not it has hammer firing features not integrated directly into the mechanism, but an external hammer. And by external, I mean non-attached to the gun. I
got a Beretta here. I could dump a Beretta around. This is the Scorpio 15. It's got this is an SKS. There's an SKS with a body kit on it, a bulky body kit on it. But I don't know. So the competitor to this, I guess, in the Canadian market would be the Matador Arms Sabertooth chassis, which is also an aluminum chassis. That one doesn't do anything about a mag. This one gives you these XCR 10-round mags that are detachable. You lose the ability to run stripper clips. You do with most of these chassis kits. And I haven't figured out how to take it apart. It looks kind of like a pain in the butt, so I'm not sure.
Is it like a Keltec with 17 million screws?
It's got a bunch of screws on the side. I'm not even sure how it comes apart. I haven't even had a chance to take it out to shoot it yet. But it's got a full rail on the top there. It's got key mod on the side. It's pretty light. Like, it looks really bulky and heavy. It's not heavy. It's lighter than a typical SKS.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. There's like nothing. There's nothing in here. It's kind of swoopy over here, so you can grab onto if you really want to. I don't have anything too grabby on it.
So what did they take from the SKS?
The wood stock, the bottom metal. I haven't really taken a look in this magwell here to see. It just looks like a standard AR magwell.
So did they just take literally the barrel, the gas system, and the fire group?
Yeah.
Obviously, the receiver's got to be in there somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be in there. But, I don't know. It's not bad.
So from the pictures of that, it couldn't... Yeah. I was going to say, can you reach the mag release? Well, can you reach the mag release with your finger on the pistol grip?
No. There's
I didn't think
my finger
so.
there.
Oh,
now,
boy.
what you can do, it's got ambi mag release. So it's got the one on the one side. It's got another one right here. So as you're reaching up, you can press it with your left hand to drop it, and they drop free. So yeah, it's quite well. I mean, I think that's the SKS though. The SKS mag, like, this is about right for where the magwell is compared to the trigger on an SKS. So unless you get some sort of like lever mechanism in there, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
The ambi is like, I don't know, the best I guess you could do with an SKS. I haven't seen very many of this style mag release for these guys here, so I don't know. But if you use your left hand, it's not too terrible. Here's that.
What's the price on those compared to the Sabertooth?
I think the whole thing is, let's say $800, but I'd have to go take a look.
1,800 or 800?
1 minute. 800. Scorpio 15.
It's not bad. Like, wait. Is that the Bubba Fuck SKS or the 858?
$850. These are. With all the stuff, with the mag, with the magwell. So I mean, if you were to take an SKS and get one of those 10-round magwells on it, you're going to be at $600-700 already, anyways. Throw on like a chassis, yeah, you'll get there.
I guess if you want somebody to bubbify your rifle for you.
Yep. Yeah, if you want someone to bubbify your rifle for you. Let's see. I don't know. I got this thing.
Oh. That's not the real deal.
No. It's just a BB gun version from Gretchen. It's full auto. It's a full auto BB gun.
Does it have a shoulder
neat.
stock?
No shoulder stock. So
Oh.
you just kind of hang on to it. And it's like not rifled or it's a BB gun, right? So it's just,
how many rounds in the clip?
18, and the mag carries the gas as well.
Yeah, a lot of those do.
Yeah, kind of a neat setup. It's got your there's your single fire, and then there's your full auto there. Little selector on the side. Safety.
I wonder if that's what the real one had.
I think so. I don't know. This is steel. This is like a heavy. This is not like a plastic BB gun. This is.
Yeah, there's a lot of airsoft people that are really big about realistic weight, even though it's an air gun. So.
Yep. Well, I mean, yeah, and this is a BB gun too, right? Oh yeah, one of the thing I forgot. These WR762s. Let's see. You can pull the. They've got like a thread hider, thread cover here, and you can. This is way easier to do when I'm actually looking at it. I'm just gonna spin this guy off. This is like these things are very easy to replace. So there's a flash hider, and you can replace it with one of these guys here. This is Spectre Ballistics brake.
Man, those guys really made it well, hey?
The brake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised nobody thought about just making a good brake out of good materials or as good of a price as possible without charging another $100 on top of what it costs.
Yeah, you know, even the Mitchell brake in Canada right now is like $80-$90. This guy's $45, and it's better. Like the material's better. It's just flat out better than the Mitchell brake. Anyways, there's a brake on there now. That was easy.
So I was watching you put that on, that Spectre Ballistics brake. Then it works with that detent system the CZ VZs have.
Yeah,
like it's got a divot for it.
Yeah, it's nice. Got that divot right there for it, so it's locked in there for it.
Hey, you want to know why? You want to know why Janner is so excited about that? Hey, Janner, what did you buy?
Oh, I put the Czech Special Forces brake on mine. That's the first time I'd even noticed that system. That's slick. I wish more guns came with that.
Are you done showing what you did, Adriel?
Yeah.
Okay, Janner, pull that badass out. I want to see that magwell adapter.
Magwell adapter on. Oh, I guess I maybe haven't shown you guys that.
No,
I haven't put the new furniture on this yet because I found out I don't have the right stuff. Yeah, so that's well, this is that's a standard SigNADE. Well, that's a PMag 50, but there we go. Holds Beowulfs, holds LARs, holds AR mags. So I haven't even taken the proper mags out of the box. I just bought this with that because why not? That's the Czech Special Forces brake I've got on there. Corwin Arms had those in, so I thought, why not? I might as well buy that. That's got the flash hider on it. When you screw it off, there's just a smaller, I don't know what you'd call it, but brake under with that style. A little bit hard to see there, but twisty whatever. So I've been told those are a little bit hard to get, or they don't come in very often. So I thought, why not buy one? Emailed Corwin, and they sent me one right away. Pretty cool. And then I went and Wolverine still had the prohibited furniture, so I haven't taken out of the box yet. One day I've got the on the B furniture. But because mine's the Sporter, I need a hardware kit, which they do not have. But I was looking on eBay. They're all over eBay to get the hardware kit. It's just a little bit different pieces you need for the pistol grip and for the buttstock. Not a big deal. About $60 should have that in for me. So yeah. Other than that, I was talking about last week. I finished the 7.5-inch Bulldog Ugly as Sin AR.
That thing is slick as fuck.
I really like it.
Slick, but it's awesome.
Yeah, it's something. So that's a 9-inch Omega rail on this sucker. You can see there, the muzzle just hangs out just a little bit. That's the TNA, what they call the landmine brake, I think. Got this Troy PDW stock off of Gun Nuts used. Neat little piece of kit, but that means a different bolt carrier group, different spring. And when you put it together, they don't hinge like a standard AR. They kind of slide together more like an AR-10 or like the Durias do, where you kind of come in sideways and pin it all at once, just because there's not a whole bunch of room for that spring in there.
Does it have a buffer, or is it just a spring and then it makes contact with the bolt carrier?
The buffer is the bolt carrier. It looks a little bit different. I can take it apart and show you guys.
I would definitely like to see that thing. Have you shot it yet?
Yeah, it barks like you would not believe and throws fire, and it's just all kinds of a good time. Very useless, in my opinion, little gun, but pretty cool. Okay, so there we go.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna go off for a second.
What's that now?
Like he's just busy. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that is your bolt carry group. You can see the buffer is kind of incorporated into that. That's a little bit longer than your standard bolt carry group. That's a full auto bolt carrier. Other than that, yeah, the spring just goes in there. It's a little bit shorter than a normal spring. So one thing I noticed about this, I've still got to tune it just a little bit. I put an adjustable muzzle brake on that. But I'm still getting the odd failure to extract / double feed. So I think it's overgassed just a hair still. So I need to do something about that, but I haven't been back to the range to monkey with it. It was good for the first couple mags. Then towards the end, it started acting up again, but it needs a really long Allen key to get in there, and I forgot it at home. So yeah, neat little gun for sure. Other than that, I haven't done a whole bunch. Put strip lighting in my gun safe. I don't know if you can see it behind me. There's lights in there now.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Battery nice. No, they're 120 or 12 volt, but yeah, I've got them powered by 120.
Okay.
And yeah, other than that, I finished building my stroller for 3-gun. So I've got a tactical stroller now, like all the cool kids. I was looking for that Saskatoon match. They want all guns carried muzzle up or in a stroller. And I'm not sure how the
stroller's fine. Is in the stroller muzzle down's fine?
That's yeah. Have you seen? Chris posted the stage design and the match info. There's a booklet out. I can send it to you later if you want. They've got all the stage designs, all the rules, all that kind of stuff. So
cool.
So I can send that your way. But I had a quick look through. It looks pretty standard. Stages look like a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm just setting up some of the stage designs for the Chaz 3-gun this weekend right now.
Yeah, I'm going to be secondary for one of you guys there, it sounds like. So
cool. Should be looking forward to 25-50. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I told Chris throw me wherever, but yeah, it should be a good time.
Oh yeah, I shot some IPSC. I didn't even. I totally forgot. Are you done, janitor?
Yeah, I am.
I shot some IPSC over the weekend. I did 2 matches in Bonnyville. Day 1. These are my first IPSC matches ever. Day 1 was I got 9th out of 39 shooters.
Oh, nice.
In production.
Nice.
Yeah, that was cool. And then day 2, I shit the bed. I was shooting this steel cased ammo.
Oh, okay.
Which corrodes in water. Corrodes bad in water. Day 1 rained. Day 2, I got a bunch of corroded ammo. And I'm like, I don't really care what my score is, so I'm just gonna run this stuff. And I got some jams out of it.
Oh boy. Where was that?
I got some jam. Bonnyville.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, the thing about Alberta is you got to drive so far to get anywhere. And for IPSC, just around here, there's Phoenix, so I could shoot indoors. I don't really like shooting indoors, especially competitions. Or other than that, I can drive to Fort McMurray or Brooks, which, if you don't know, Alberta are both pretty far. Those are a bit of a drive each. Bonnyville was 2.5 hours, and that's close.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked into it. I'd heard they used to do it at the Red Deer Shooting Center, and then they don't anymore for I'm not sure why. I think that happened around the same time an instructor shot himself or student shot himself in the leg there at one of their classes. But yeah, I came to the same conclusion. I pretty much got to go to Brooks or Bonnyville to compete, and that's no matter what I'm looking at, 4-hour drive pretty much. So
yeah, pretty far. Like the match itself, there's some good shooters at IPSC. There are some amazing shooters at IPSC. Just heads and tails above what I've seen. I think I don't know if that'll be shooting a lot of matches. I think the IPSC seems like it's become a battleground between ROs and rule makers and gamers, because they have rules and they follow all of them to the letter, and there is no intent. There you can see where some of the intent was, and then how people like took advantage of it, and then how they just like nail them again with the rules. So like as a new competitor in it, it's like, holy crap, this is really weird. This is a really weird dynamic to be shooting. I had people telling me, the RO ruled one way or another, and I had people telling me like, you should challenge that. You should go and argue with him about that, like multiple times. You should argue with that guy about that. It's like, I don't want to shoot to like argue with people. I want to shoot to shoot. Like if you're going to tell me something to enhance my safety, like make sure I'm shooting the stage safer, or some strategy on how to shoot the stage, or some technique on how to shoot faster, like I'm all for it. That's stuff I really like. But like arguing about rules is not what I got in. I'm not that kind of guy. So.
Well, to be honest with you, I'd looked at IPSC quite a few years ago, just looking at online communities, media presence, that kind of stuff. And that's the exact conclusion I came to, is that like, this doesn't even sound like fun to me. So I kind of looked at the IDPA route, which I might still try. That looks a little less rule, or actually maybe something you would know having shot IPSC. I noticed for some 3-gun match rules I'm looking at, and for the IDPA rules for Alberta, if you want to contest something, you can, but it costs you $100.
Yeah, they've got that. They got that rule in IPSC as well. I mean, at our 3-gun matches, if the RO says something, that's it.
yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh, that's a hit or that's a miss. It's like you can argue with them, you could try, but that's it. Like in IPSC, it goes from the RO to the CRO to the match director. And there's some things that make a lot of sense. Like the calibration thing is awesome. You shoot, like I actually hit a steel popper. I drilled it in the center, and I kept going, pop, 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 and I stopped. The popper didn't fall over. Yeah. So then I said, okay, well, I call for calibration. Like this thing doesn't, and maybe I set it back a little bit or something. Like you can see the impact on it because they spray painted in between shoots, right?
Sure.
The match guy came out and shot it and it fell over. So screw me, right?
Oh, bummer.
I don't care. I mean, I'm not out there to I don't care about the 10 points for this, or the 5 points or whatever it was for the steal. I really don't care. I was out there to shoot and have fun, and to really I was really looking forward to seeing like, okay, how fast are fast shooters? And there's some pretty fast shooters out there. Corey, or like some of you might know, Tuna and Chachi out in Peace River. He's a 3-gun shooter and an IPSC shooter, and he is like blazing fast. He shoots fast. He for a big guy, he moves fast too. And I'm glad he's in open, because I don't want him in my division when we go to Saskatoon, because he's gonna mop up. He's very fast.
Oh, right on. Would you say there's more guys there for fun, or more guys there that are really, there to argue about rules and win?
No, I think most of the guys are there for the community, for the IPSC community. There's most of the people there like go to like many matches, so they're hanging out with this, even though they're like going to whatever match in Alberta, and they know each other very well. And they're driving all over the place to really shoot for like 2 minutes in a day. Really, you're not shooting for a lot of time, but to hang out with their friends and other people that like to shoot. Because I mean, I got 9th out of 39 shooters. I'm not a good IPSC shooter. I'm not like a fantastic pistol shooter. I've been shooting pistol like competitively in 3-gun for 2.5 years. That's not a lot of matches. A lot of these
No.
guys have 30 to 100 to 150 IPSC matches under their belt. And I mean, if you practice in your off time, I barely practice in my off time. You know, you can get a multiplier on that where you're more effective. So no, I think a lot of guys are out there just as something fun. They want to shoot something dynamic, and pistol's actually pretty cheap to do. You don't need much for your belt. Your ammo costs are low, so you can shoot lower. You can shoot an IPSC match for less than a 3-gun match, right? Just in terms of equipment, ammo, and all that other jazz, right? But the 3-gun has, because you've got all the different rifle, shotgun, pistol, all of that jazz, you've got more dynamics in what kind of stages you can design. Yeah. You've got lots of different targets that you can run. Like you couldn't run those clay poppers in IPSC because, well, you could try. Someone could try shooting one of the clay out of the sky with their pistol.
Use rat shot, man. Use rat shot.
Yeah, they don't run any targets that can't be calibrated and can't be run at like a high degree of precision. So they would never run like this. A spinner or something like that would be like no dice, or a Texas Star would be no dice, because there's too much variability and they can't make it fair between everyone. So it was all like it was all cardboard paper targets with like 1 or 2 steel poppers, and that was
just your usual IPSC man-sized targets.
Yeah, they're no head box, just the triangle kind of a thing, with the A zone, the C, D kind of. Yeah,
I have a buddy of mine that does IPSC shooting, and he took me through it, and I was like, "So how did I do?" He's like, "You did all right," because I was just shooting with his PPX, and those are nice handguns. I don't know if you've ever tried one of those. It was a Walter PPX. Really neat. It's just, you know, your run-of-the-mill striker fire, 9mm, and it did well. Yeah. I just sold the Princess, the 44 Magnum.
Oh, nice. Did you get a good price for it?
I got my money back on it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's, gun rental.
Yeah. Gun rental, $1,200 gun rental. And I'm just gonna go ahead and turn around and buy a more expensive, longer barrel version of that, because I need to have a 10 3/8 of an inch barrel 44 Magnum with silhouette sights, just for shits and giggles. I mean, if you're gonna have a hand cannon, you might as well have the biggest hand cannon I can have. And I don't think I've seen anything larger than 10 3/8 of an inch barrel. Even those fancy pants Ruger Red Hawks with the long barrels, those are only 10-inch barrels. So I'm going to have 3/8 of an inch on those guys. If this guy plays ball. I've been trying to buy that handgun off that guy for like 2 months now. The guy just has not budged, nor has he actually bumped the ad. It's the weirdest thing. Last time he bumped that ad was at the end of June. And I messaged him sometime in July going, "Is the gun still available?" And he says, "Yeah." So I told him, "Will you take $1,500 for it?" And he goes, "No, I'm only going to sell it for what I asked for." So I was like, "Okay, see you in a month." So now it's been a month later, and I'm going to send him, "So will you take $1,450 for it?" And if he gets on my nerves, I might just pay $1,550 and tell him that that's my final offer, and he can sit on his gun for as long as he wants. And then I'll just go look for another one. The reason I sold this fancy pants nickel-plated 44 Magnum is it's too damn pretty to shoot. And it's impossible to keep clean. So yeah, that's gonna be sold. Speaking about, I know I just jumped in and totally shut down your conversation. Is there anything else you want to talk about your 3-gun? You're muted, by the way, Adriel.
No, I think we're good.
Adriel, you're still muted.
I'll get to it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, no, we're good.
Okay. What I did is I bought this thing and found out that it's gonna shoot me if I drop it.
The timing was terrible.
This is literally my first 9mm. This is the first 9mm I've ever owned. I have owned exactly 2 other semi-automatic pistols. I own a Ruger SR 1911, which was awesome, and I still kick myself in the head for selling. And I sold a Smith & Wesson SW22 Victory, which was probably the best pistol I've ever shot. That thing was an absolute laser beam. And then I decided, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump into the striker fire 9mm territory so that I can shoot IPSC with my buddy. And I bought this, and What is your guess they're gonna let you take these guns into IPSC anymore?
Well,
They
I think
should.
I don't know, why not?
I don't know. Do guns have to be drop safe to go into IPSC?
Well, if you drop your gun, you're disqualified.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And you might stop the RO from disqualifying you if you drop your gun.
Oh, that'd be awful. That'd be awful.
One
yeah, I'm
can
gonna-
argue that the timing on that, this is your fault.
It probably is. It's actually
think it
exactly
is.
my fault.
Yep.
Yes, I also decided to. I'm glad I didn't order more max for it because I ordered 1,000 rounds of Blazer, 125 grain, brass cased ammo, and a Blade Tech holster for it. I was gonna try it with the holster, try it with that Blazer ammo, and if I liked it, I was gonna buy more max, and then I was gonna jump into it. Instead, I just have the Blade Tech holster and the ammo, which it's never bad to have 1,000 rounds of anything. And SIG is going to do a full press release about the recall that they're calling an upgrade, a recommended trigger upgrade. They're gonna, if I remember correctly, they're gonna change the trigger for a lighter trigger. That's the enhanced M17 Army standard trigger. They're gonna change the sear housing, and they're gonna do something else to it. And I don't know what else is the other. There's three things that are subject to the change. However, after watching that video of the guy hitting the shit out of the back of the slide and it going off, I don't know if it's the trigger that's the issue with this gun. I mean, I don't plan on dropping any more of my guns, so I mean,
How hard do you have to hit it?
I don't know. Like he hit it 3 times. It was like bang, 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 poof, and it went off. So
I'm trying to make it loose so it'll actually
I'm
move,
waiting for the rear side to go flying. Oh, this is great TV.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, one more try. Ready, guys? It's clear. Let's try the trigger. The trigger does work. When it is off, it has a lighter sound. Okay, 6 feet tallish. Oh, let me turn so you guys can see it. Land on the ground and go off if it was loaded with a round. Let's see.
Oh, I love it.
Nope. Trigger still works.
Maybe you need to drop it on concrete.
Maybe I need to drop it on concrete. Apparently, your gun will not go off if you drop it on carpet. So just carpet everything and walk only on carpet while carrying your SIG P320. What else? I made a purchase, folks. I made a purchase. Also, aside from this, in the military surplus forum on CGN, somebody posted this. It is a VZ58 Tactical P2 with 4 mags, the mag pouch, bayonet, sheet, cleaning kit, sling, the wooden the plastic Fav Arms furniture, the Northeastern Arms railed forend, a camo sling, and the actual case. That was the entire deal, and I got it for a steal. I'm not gonna say the price because I'm probably gonna have to flip this thing. Yeah, the guy said he never put corrosive through it. Oh, actually, it has a muzzle brake. It has a fake can muzzle brake. It's not visible. You can kind of see it in this picture. There it is, CZ58 Tactical 2P. There's the Fav Arms furniture. I hate the look of it. The Northeastern Arms railed forend. There's the fake.
You know which brake you should get.
Spectre Ballistics. Yeah. I got that. It's coming in the mail. Should be here next week, and I'm gonna try it. I know I'm not gonna like it because I've tried my buddy's VZ58, and it's like, yeah, it's a nice rifle. Shoots 7.62 by 39, and it's cheap. But I could do with an extra couple $100. Why not? I'm gonna flip that for a lot of money. I'm hoping. And then something came in the mail. Something else came in the mail. I'm not sure if anybody's seen it. It may or may not have been on the front page of Canada Guns. It's the Abomination. It is here. The Abomination is here.
Ugh.
Yes, that seems to be the general consensus. Ugh, what the hell is that? It is loud, folks. It is loud, but this is, at its core, a Wingmaster. That's right. I pillaged the Wingmaster receiver. For those of you that are getting super triggered right now, it was tarnished. There was bluing loss all over the spine and the side of the receiver. So, you know, I could have reblued it.
I think gun collectors refer to that as patina that you just ruined. So, feel
Whatever.
shame.
Whatever. They can get triggered as much as they want. I like the shit out of this thing now.
It was tarnished, so you decided it needed herpes as well?
That's right. So the only solution was to get rid of the wooden furniture, put in a Mesa Tactical Urbino stock, a Hogue super grippy forend, a +1 SNJ extension, I don't know if you guys knew this, you can get a reversible safety for your 870. So now it can be actuated and it works the same as a regular safety, but for a left-handed person, or in my case, just a left eye shooting person. And yeah, it's got a 14-inch Remington barrel. And oh yeah, buddy. This thing is terrible. Like the coating is so thick on it, it's textured. You can feel the black ridges.
Is that your skeet gun then?
It might be. I could get really good at pumping this really quickly. Although I wonder if you wanted to. Technically, if the range is licensed to have restricteds, would the trap range also be licensed? If it's in the same range?
I don't know.
Because then I could get one of those sweet 14-inch M4 Benellis and just shoot trap with that.
I think that is way worse.
Oh, come on. It's got even a metal trigger group. Look at it. It's a Wingmaster. Doesn't it look way better now with the fire engine red fading to fluorescent pink zebra pattern or leopard print pattern?
That's leopard print?
I guess it's leopard print. Is that leopard print? Or is that actually no, like a giraffe?
It's a lava print.
It's lava. It's a lava print. Some people were telling me to call it the Crover Flodge. The Crover, yeah, the Crover Mouflage or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I like it, man. This thing still shoots way better than I can. It's the most naturally pointing stock I've ever felt. I don't know if you guys ever played with the Mesa Tactical stock. It's expensive,
nope.
but golly, does it point naturally. And you can have 1,000,001 different sling attachments. I don't know if you can see, but there's a slot there. You can run a plate there that you can run a sling through. Also, right between the stock and the receiver, there is a small plate that you can pull, swap out and put a single point sling, either ambidextrous sided or one-sided slings. And yeah, man, this thing is fucking cool as hell. I love this thing. And I will shoot trap with it and watch the FUDs lose their fucking minds.
They will.
I can't wait to see how many of them tell me that it's actually illegal.
Normally, I would argue with those kind of guys, but I agree that gun should be illegal.
Why you have to be mad?
I'm not mad. I mean, you should do whatever you want.
It's terrible. I know it's terrible. Oh, the Techno Giraffe camo. I like that, Andrew. I like that. Yeah, that's what I did this last 2 weeks. I bought guns. One of them turned out to be a grenade. One of them was a hell of a deal, and I got a gun in the mail. Other than that, quit shining that laser on your camera, boy. You're gonna wreck it.
Maybe.
anything other than that that we'd like to mention? What is the top post of the last month? Because I don't think we've done the top post of the month in a while. I'm pretty sure it's just a shit post because it seems to me like we're just getting a lot of shit posts lately. Is it just me, or are we getting a lot of shit posts lately?
Oh,
Seems like those get the upvotes.
Oh, you're gonna love what the top post of the month is. Believe it or not, it's a shit post, but it's a shit post by yours truly. Want to sell, want to trade grenade launcher like new in the box with Ks and grenades. Vancouver, BC, cash only or tendies. Then we have a repost shit post, courtesy of Gun Gear. PSA, kits and guns. Don't give them single operator guns. Give them crew service guns, like a mounted machine gun or a mortar team. That would be better for children. I've seen that so many times. I'll give you an upvote every single time. Gun owners, the worst kind of people. This was a really nice story, if I remember correctly. What the hell was it? Oh, yeah. The guy left his wallet at the range. He called, and somebody picked it up and turned it in. So there you go. Who needs the ATF to put this doggo down? Speak. An aluminum paperweight can be made into a machine gun while the dog wears an RCMP hat, and they give him chocolate. Oh, they want to kill the dog. Okay, that makes sense. I just noticed that. They're killing the dog. And then there's more. Oh yeah, the RCMP lost a grenade launcher in Vancouver. Anyways, then we have a shitpost. MRCPU. Somebody was protesting firearms. I think this was in Toronto. Was it Toronto or Ottawa?
Yeah,
or
Toronto. That's at Queen's Park Station.
Oh, Crazy! Hi, how you doing, baby?
Pretty good, baby.
Yeah. What have you done in the last week?
Give me a second to make sure my microphone levels are okay. Yeah, they're okay.
It's fine. It's
so,
fine.
as my tagline says, nonstop pop-off and stainless steel.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
I got myself the 4.2-inch Smith & Wesson 686. So this is the 686-6, so it does have the Hillary hole, but I don't care.
You can take those out, you know.
I'll deal with it if it ever breaks. The only thing I don't like on it is the fact that it's case-hardened trigger and hammer. I've never been a fan of case hardening as a finish, but I've already ordered a set of this is round butt, so I've got a set of conversion target grips coming in rosewood. They cleared customs apparently, so I just gotta wait for them to actually get here. This cylinder doesn't spin as freely as I would hope it would.
Point it down and spin it. Yeah, point it down and spin it.
How many bullets do you got in there? 6, 5, 1?
I think it's broken. I've got none.
Oh, you're supposed to leave one in there.
We're not in Russia.
By the way, just interjecting. When you hold when you point the firearm down, the cylinder spins better because when you hold it back, there is that stop on the bottom of the frame that kind of actually rubs against the cylinder. Like if you see, there's a little tab right on the back corner of the frame.
Oh yeah, it does right there.
When you hold it down, it spins a little
that spins a lot better. Oh yeah, I actually did notice that. It runs right into that right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of funny when I brought the Ruger in to trade at Epps because I traded my GP100 in for this. You remember a couple weeks ago I mentioned it, Rusty. The guy at Epps tried to open the Ruger like a Smith & Wesson by pressing the lever forward.
Nope.
With Ruger, it's a button. You just press the button. So he's sitting there pushing it forward. I'm like, just press the button. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, with Smiths, you push forward. With Dan Wessons, you pull back. And with Rugers, you press.
I think Colts you press as well. But the good thing is, too, the Ruger had this white box around the sight, but the front sight did not have the orange ramp. It was just black. That's one thing I like about the Smith. And the 4.2-inch barrel, people say apparently the Blade Tech 4-inch holsters work just fine. But I figured if I actually want to do some form of competitive shooting, most like IPSC and IDPA and stuff actually, like I know IPSC production has actually a maximum barrel length for revolvers that's 5 inches. So the 4.2 sits within that realm. Like I debated because Cabela's had a 6-inch model, but I decided no, I'm going for the 4.2 because unlike Crover, I don't need to compensate for anything.
Hey now. Hey now. Have you shot it, or is it still in the paper?
No, it's
paperweight.
still, I'm going to say it's still in paperwork limbo, but the reality is I'm just lazy. It is still in paperwork limbo, but you've heard my opinions on that before on the IRC. But yeah, and the grips still haven't gotten here yet. It says they cleared customs on Monday. So
what kind of grips is that? Is that just Hogue grips?
No, I bought them from a company called Altamont.
No, I know, but what grips does it have now?
Oh, these are just the ones it came with, like just whatever Smith & Wesson's OEM rubber grip is, which probably is Hogue. I don't know. Altamont's apparently an OEM for Smith & Wesson grips for their wood grips. And I'm willing to bet this is probably Hogue, but it's whatever the gun came with. It's just molded plastic grips there.
It's plastic? It's not rubber?
Rubber, plastic. Rubber is a kind of plastic. It doesn't, whatever. Yeah, they are technically doing a technical. They're rubber grips, and I've got a set of nice fucking rosewood conversion targets. They're going to look so beautiful. Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, those are really good, man. Those are really good.
I can't wait. And yeah, I'm going shooting on the 13th, though. So this is coming with me that day because I was too lazy to go shooting some other day. But yeah, the 13th, I finally get to shoot this thing.
Nice.
I got some grips I'm going to put on my FNS.
Oh, yeah? Oh, by the way, Crazy, do you have any
go.
striker fires willing to drop on air?
No, I'm not going to risk ruining my dad's P320 by dropping it.
Oh, come on, dude. I've been dropping mine all night.
Yeah, but the difference is you own yours. That one's my dad's, not mine. I don't get to make the decision if I want to ruin it.
Somebody else's take on it. What's your dad's take on this whole debacle?
I don't know. He thought it was all bullshit at first, and then he's seen the videos now, and he's like, yeah, there's a voluntary recall. I'll just have to not drop my P320.
Yeah, at least
now, what about hitting it with a hammer? We were hitting striker fired guns with hammers earlier. Do you think
did you see that one? Did you see that one, Crazy?
I've seen that video too. Yeah, they take the Brownells 1 ounce gunsmith hammer, 1 pound gunsmith hammer, and whack it on the back, and that sets it off too. Apparently.
Yeah. So what that means, it may not be the trigger itself. It may be something else.
That's very interesting though, because in every drop video, if you look at the slow-mo ones, you see the trigger move back. You actually do see the trigger go rearward. Whether it's enough to set the gun off, I'm not sure, but you do see trigger travel. So that's what's interesting. And they tested it with the X5 series, and the X5, it did not do it.
I guess the next test would be to smack the shit out of the back of the slide of an X5.
Yeah, because I don't know if anyone smacked the X5. They dropped it, but they didn't smack it.
I think that's getting into stupid territory, though. I don't think any gun's really designed to be whacked with a mallet.
As long as it survives a quick little tumble into the dirt, like that should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people were arguing that the angle that the P320 gets accidental discharge. No, negligent. Is it accidental if the gun does it?
It is
by
accidental.
Yeah,
it's the gun's fault, not.
The angle, which by the way, if you don't know, they are saying it's this angle. It's I think they say 30 degrees.
30 degrees is what I heard. Yeah.
So if it lands on the back of the slide and the beaver tail, or on the back of the slide, one of the two, that's when the gun seems to be going off when dropped onto a hard concrete surface at about waist high. Is that what you said, Jenner?
That's the video I was watching, yeah.
Yeah, that's when the gun seemed to be going off. So, what are you doing over there, Adriel? Are you operating?
Yeah, I'm trying my quad loads. I just welded my lifter.
Oh, is that the one that you've been super Bubba fucking yourself?
Oh,
is that
yeah,
the A5?
This new A5. Oh, get in there.
Oh,
yeah.
You should post.
So used to have a fork there.
You should find a
fork.
Browning forum and post that on the Browning forum and wait for some fuds to like at you.
Here's the part that they would love right there. Oh yeah. Get in there.
Nothing like good old-fashioned Dremel work.
Like welding the lifter. Sorry, is sometimes will give you reliability issues with the shells. So I just wanted to.
Does it still do the auto feed for you now that you welded it?
Oh yeah.
So what do you mean by welding the follower or welding the lifter?
So this here, let me get it in close here. This used to be a fork. That used to be a fork that would kind of guide the shells in. and now it's not. And because it's not, I can load like this, and it's not going to pinch my finger because there's no fork there that's looking to grab my finger anymore. I don't know. Seems to be feeding all right.
Are those the Brownells dummies?
Yeah. Yeah. Freaking awesome.
Why don't you plug them one more time? Because those things are fucking awesome. Also, your camera is freaking the fuck out with the autofocus.
Yeah, it does that. Here. There's a Brownells dummy shotgun shells. They are loaded, so they've got loaded. They've got lead in them, so they do have that weight forward on them, so you can use them as practice, and works pretty good.
Lovely.
Practice
Oh, by the way,
loads.
Grace. By the way, Crazy, I sold the 44. I sold it on air.
Oh, you sold it on air.
Yeah, I got the phone call from the guy. He's like, "Oh yeah." He's apparently fun fact, folks. So for those of you that have been buying restricted for a very long time, I don't know if you remember or you knew. If you're buying a restricted for your first time, the RCMP might ask you to send in a copy of your club membership license, of your club membership.
Unless you're in Ontario.
I don't remember having to send one in for mine. I never did.
They asked me for one when I just renewed.
They don't ask in Ontario.
Well, you guys don't have to have one in Ontario.
You guys need to figure out what that lawsuit was, like what the case was called, and apply it to the other provinces. Because if it set the precedent here, every province except Quebec should be able to set the same precedent.
Well, are you willing to pay Varsal to take it up?
I don't live in Alberta, so I don't need to, but someone else in Alberta could probably hire Varsal.
That takes work.
So yeah, we have to put in a membership. I have to do that once every 5 years when I renew. The flip side is we can get transfers same day instead of 2 months later. So I'd rather do the membership.
This took 10 days.
Mine was one day for the fucking SigNADE.
I've had transfers go through in a day. Like my P226 went through in a day. And my first AR was 2 days. It all depends on whether the staff's on vacation. Apparently, on the Ontario CFO, had all their staff on vacation 2 weeks ago, so nothing was getting done.
Oh shit! Yeah, we should talk about that. Local redditor, well, not local, a redditor, pterodactyl hunter, started a small campaign to email the Ontario Ombudsman about the slow processing times of approvals in Ontario. And it seems like somebody actually listened, and it seems like somebody actually called the RCMP, because it seems that the approval times in Ontario and seemingly across the board, at least in BC from my own experience, have gone down to the advertised 10 business days or less. The approval for this stupid thing happened in a day.
Most of the stuff in Alberta happens in a day.
BC, it was usually a couple of days.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it was pterodactyl hunter. Maybe it wasn't.
Why do they need any time? Why isn't it just fucking instantaneous? The license, they check our license for validity every night. Automated system.
Go call the CFO and ask them. So what the fuck is up with the wait times?
Those of you who remember the long gun registry, the approval was instantaneous. I worked with it. You'd either get when you sold someone a firearm, you would either get a thing that showed up saying this transfer has been approved. Please print this page as it will act as your temporary registration, or you got a page that said this transfer has been flagged for further review. And when it said this transfer has been approved, we print off the page, we hand the person the paperwork, and we say, hold on to this until your reg cert comes in the mail. Otherwise, if it said this transfer has been held for further approval, we would have to call the CFO. And since I worked evenings and weekends, that meant they had to call the CFO the next day. We had to tell the customer, sorry, you got to come back on Monday. But yeah, that was in the days of the registry. Transfers were instantaneous and done online by the retailer. So they had the infrastructure to do it, and that was in 2011.
Well, seems that they went, fuck that. Do we have anything else to cover? I think we just talked about ourselves and a bit about 3-gun.
Oh, I'm pumped.
Crazy, do you have a gun to show?
The only other thing I brought out was my AR. I don't know. I haven't brought this out to fuck around with in a while. So.
Oh, actually, you know what's fucked up? I saw your scope. Or did you sell your scope and the rifle to that guy?
Which? Oh, to
Russian
Fred
scope.
12.
Yeah. Yeah, I met him.
Fred 12 with the range.
Yeah, I met Fred 12. Yeah, we went out shooting a couple
fuck.
weeks ago.
Is that gun and scope still working fine?
Sure is.
That's a Chinese fucking Dominion Arms DA556 with a broken Russian scope on it. Did he show you where it was broken?
That thing is freaky, man. Those Russians have weird ideas.
Yeah. Did you see where the scope's broken on that thing?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, and it still holds a 0 just fine.
It does.
Yeah, but yeah, did he explain how the reticle works? Does he know how the reticle works?
Yeah, he told me how the reticle works.
With the rangefinder in it?
Yeah.
For people who don't know, Russian scopes, they actually have a little rangefinder in the side there. And what it is it's a flat line and a curve that's marked like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. What it is you are meant to line up an average person in that rangefinder, and depending on how tall the person is, if they fit at the 2, that's 200 yards, 400 yards, 600, 800, or 1,000, that tells you how far away your target is, so you know how to adjust your main reticle. And it's built for an average person, I think, of about 6 feet tall.
Yep. So is that your AR? What have you done with that thing?
I just put this bipod grip that I bought from.
Oh, grip pod! You're one of those.
It works well because mostly it's Silverdale. It's done off the bench, so the bipod is helpful. And then I figure if I swap this out ever and change this scope, I have a grip.
Hey, Adriel, what are the merits of the grip pod for 3-gun?
Well, like actually, if you're running long range, that is a really good thing to run. Either one of those or a bipod, because on those long shots, a bipod makes a big difference.
Yeah, because I had this out and using it obviously as a bipod. I was out at 200 yards with this AR the other day. Well, not the other day, Canada Day, and ringing steel just fine. A 1-foot steel gong. All the shots were left for some reason. I probably need to adjust my scope again a little bit.
What ammo?
But yeah, it was great.
What ammo? What ammo were you using?
Barnall.
You know why? It might not be your scope. I was shooting that Chinese surplus 5.56, and it also groups left.
Huh.
Yeah. See, it does. It has the weirdest thing. Some of them are bang on, and then it goes wee off to the left side.
Now with this Barnall, it was on at 100, but then at 200 it was left. I've had the experience though with the Remington too. When I was shooting my Howa, it was grouping left with Remington. So. Yeah, it could have been wind, but there wasn't all that much wind that day, from what I remember.
Well, 55 grain isn't much of a fucking projectile. Small wind can push that.
Yeah, I've seen that at 200 yards before when I was shooting my Howa on paper in a rainstorm, and the first shot would always be dead center, and every shot was down to the left. This time it was down a bit and to the left, but it was still accurate enough to hit a 1-foot steel target 10 times out of 10. I still love the trigger on this.
Did you see it?
Oh yeah. Oh. So when do I get to unlock that in Counter-Strike?
You need what is it that I was saying? You need 19 out of 11 pearl necklaces.
Can we just show this in the side chat? Andrew's asking about light 15-inch AR handguards. The sky's the limit, but this is Cross Machine Company, 15-inch aluminum, M-lock on the sides. It was less than $300. I don't remember exactly why. I got it Red Deer Shooting Center. That's one option. Under
How's the weight on that
$300
one compared to the BCM KMR fancy?
It's right there. It's super light. I don't know the exact weight offhand, but it's lighter, a lot lighter than the Daniel Defense light rail I took off it. So.
And quick question: M-lock or key mod? What are your thoughts?
M-lock.
M-lock.
Adriel.
No, I don't care. I don't use any of that shit. You saw my ARs. It doesn't have anything on it. It's plain.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't use any of mine either, but I've got more M-lock accessories than key mod.
I would use, where is it? I've got a GoPro mount around here somewhere that I'm going to use. But I don't know. First, I got to put some skateboard tape on my gun.
Matador Arms makes something called the Transformer Rail, and it is M-LOK and Keymod compatible.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Yeah.
Fancy.
I mean, the thing with it, I remember hearing the U.S. Army did some trials and found that M-LOK was better than Keymod. That basically just killed Keymod right there.
Well, the other thing is, like, I've got Keymod here on my Tavor. No joke, that is industrial shelving, right? Like those drop-in pieces, that's the same shit. So
Some hooks on there.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing or a good thing, but I don't know.
I know the new Type 97 Gen 2 is Keymod on the forend. And from what I saw, it's proper Keymod. It's actually got the bit milled out in the back there that they say sometimes the Chinese forget to do. But no, they actually do proper Keymod on the Gen 2 Type 97.
There's Gen 2s of those?
Yeah, they're coming factory with a flat top upper.
Oh, well, you know what?
cheap yet?
What does that save you? How much are those things? Like $250?
Well, and then you got to cut the front sight off.
Oh, there you go. So does it not have any sights at all?
It comes with flip-ups.
Like
came
Magpul
with
flip-ups or like integrated Tavor flip-ups?
No, like Magpul. I'm pretty sure they were detachable. I don't remember. It's been a while since I looked at it. They had one at Tenda last time I was there.
Oh, is Tenda actually like a decent store? I mean, not like the online business. Their online business is awesome. How is the store itself?
The storefront's very small. They work out of like an industrial industrial office unit thing. So most of it is warehousing. The storefront's very small. But every time I've been in there, I've talked to the woman there, and she's very nice, very helpful, very eager to talk about things, and doesn't mind you shooting the shit a little while for stuff. They've got some of the guns up on display. So yeah, it's a very tiny store, but nice staff. Fun to go in there. If you get more than like 10 people in there, like you'd be fucking cramped up. Like
it gets
mostly
tight
for
there.
shipping, right? Mostly.
Yeah, mostly for shipping. Like the store you can tell is kind of like an afterthought kind of thing almost, just because they kind of needed to have one, I think.
You know what that reminds me of? What the hell? Back in the day, AmmoSupply.ca. They didn't actually have a storefront in Calgary. They just had the warehouse. And if you wanted to buy stuff and pick it up from the warehouse, you could, but you couldn't go and buy stuff from the warehouse. You had to order it online and then go and pick it up. And then they got bought by the Shooting Edge, so I'm never buying from them.
I googled Type 97 Gen 2, and the first link on the images was Tenda. And yeah, you can
voice recognition that's listening in onto our conversations right now.
Yeah, you can go and take a look at it. You can see the Keymod, and it looks like they got Keymod directly horizontal and almost M-LOK at a 45-degree angle there on the gun. But yeah, you can see the flip-up irons there. It looks like they're removable because they just look like they're sitting on top of the rail there. But it's, Chinesium iron sights, and we all know how good NC Star is for optics things.
Hey now, some people swear by them.
Amazing.
Oh god, I had an NC Star
them.
riser, never again. Chinese guns are one thing. I'm never buying Chinese fucking optics again.
It's not so bad. Don't you have a knockoff sight, Janner?
A sight mark?
Yeah.
It's fine. Holds zero just fine. Washes out a little bit, but all reflex sights do that to some degree. Yeah, no complaints. I rode on my shotgun for a long time. I figured that would have beat the hell out of it, but it's still holding zero, so.
Oh shit, this Type 97 is only $11.89 for the Gen 2 there. They changed it to, I think they've got a non-reciprocating charging handle that actually sticks out the side of the upper now. So you don't have to worry about shoving your hand underneath some stupid thing.
Does it still explode in your face?
I don't think so. I think they fixed that. I mean, that's the implication of Gen 2. All explodey problems should have been rectified.
Yeah.
So did any one of you actually decide to buy the Type 81?
I had the Type 81. Oh, sorry, no, wait. I will be getting a Type 81.
You
will
are
be getting a
doing it?
Type 81. Ooh.
Oh well, of course you are, because you're gonna review it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how was the WR762 compared to like a CZ?
Fine. Like the CZ, the big difference is that these aren't a painted receiver. The CZs use a like a real heavy duty paint on theirs.
And these are what, anodized or something?
No, they're. I want to say it's Parkerized, but I don't really know. It could just be in like a real thick anodization. But like I was showing it earlier, you can't even see the engraving there.
Oh, now I can. Manufactured by Kodiak Defense. It finally went into focus there. So yours is not marked with all of West Rifle's markings on it, I noticed, because West Rifle for their badge has like made by West Rifle on the side of it and all this shit to let everyone know that we did this.
I put a link in the side chat. If you look at the third picture, that's the engraving everyone's talking about that looks like crap.
Maybe it's just not what they're doing anymore.
I think probably enough people commented on it.
Yeah.
No, I did not buy a Chinese buffer tube that fell apart. My Chinese buffer tube is still perfectly intact.
Is it?
I just noticed that in the side chat there.
What?
Andrew Rodriguez said that I bought a buffer tube from China that fell apart, and I did not.
You bought the same one as some other people have had problems.
Yeah, I had a buffer that some other people had fell apart, and I Loctited the fuck out of it.
Yeah, my buddy had another issue with a certain buffer from a certain company that does bargain parts.
The double action on the Smith & Wesson is so much better than on the Ruger.
That's what I'm going to do here.
Oh, new grips. Let me see those again. Hold up. Let me turn the camera on you.
It's sandpaper. It's all it is skateboard tape.
Nice.
It's not on there right now.
You're going full Hickok. You're going full Hickok.
No, this is like an IPSC thing to do is pop on skateboard tape. I've shot a couple of buddies' pistols that had skateboard tape on it, and they're really nice. It's conformed a little bit better, and just basically the gun can't move in your hand. Once it's there, and it ain't moving. So I kind of like that.
Yeah, you don't want that, especially when if you fumble and drop your gun, it'll shoot you.
Hey, you should put some on your SIG.
All right. Actually, also, oh my God! I just figured out why they put a lanyard loop on it, so you can't drop it.
There you go.
It actually does. Look, it's right there.
Well, the Army said that it wasn't a problem with theirs, and I wondered, like, maybe it is a problem, but since they use lanyards, they don't give a shit.
The Army also made SIG stick a safety on their version.
Actually, you know what the upgraded trigger is? It's literally the M17 trigger. It's the Army trigger. They're putting the Army trigger in the guns now.
Is the Army trigger a 2-stage?
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, I just remember what the third thing was that the trigger upgrade is supposed to be. Number 1, it's the lighter X7, X5 trigger. Number 2, it's the different trigger sear housing. And number 3, it's supposed to reduce the double click feeling. I don't know exactly what they're talking about because I'm not exactly familiar with this handgun. I mean, I've only trigger fucked it for like a week. That's it. But I guess I don't think there's got a double. Maybe it does feel like a very oh, maybe there it is. Like in the take up, there is a point where you feel a change in the feel. Yeah. That's basically it. Folks, do we have anything else to talk about? Going once. Going twice. Sold. Do we have any plugs before we go? Adriel, I listened to Slamfire Radio, and your totally not edited conversations were amazing.
You like that?
I like that. I really like that.
So there was like what, maybe 10 in there. That took me like 4 hours. It was like outsized the amount of effort that needed to go into that. I definitely didn't know what I was getting into.
Now that you've done that, do you have those all saved to a soundboard so you can use them whenever you want?
I have them ready to rock and roll. I think they need to be put into a soundboard. So
they really should be. You know, whenever there needs to be a particularly loaded comment, you just pop one of those bad boys out.
Oh, I really liked getting Matthew saying. Well, pistol shooting's not accurate. You're just hammering rounds down range. Just after the guy's like, "Oh, thank you so much for teaching us. You're such a great coach." It was like, "Wow, you're not supposed to be accurate anyway." So.
Yes. Well, if that is it, folks.
I have a plug right here.
You have a plug? Oh shit. Oh, fuck off. I'll kick you out of this fucking thing. Fuck you. Get out of here. I was this close to, if there hadn't been a "are you sure you want to kick this person" button, you would be gone already. Thank you everyone for watching tonight's show. We'll be back in 2 weeks for more, or hopefully less, SIG explosions and more rifles. We'll have more guns, hopefully, and more ammo. And everybody say goodbye.
I won't be here in 2 weeks.
You won't be here?
No, I'm on vacation.
Enjoy your vacation. Say goodbye.
Thank you,
everyone.
Bye.
Janitor, say bye. Bye. Hey, Adriel, say bye.
Say bye.
Say bye. Goodbye, everybody. Be safe. And like Plinkster says, keep on plinking.